Okay, this is the start of some basic endgames which I feel every player should know. These endgames are the ones which we cannot discover on the board. It's very, very difficult. We should just know them. So I feel we should grasp this knowledge, store it in our head so that whenever it comes on the board, we'll be in a position to use it. They're very basics. Does not take long to know them, to remember them. But we must spend some time understanding them. Once we know it, it just becomes easier. The end games, the exact positions become easier. So let's do it one by one. I'll start with some very basic positions. Perhaps you might be knowing them, and then we'll go on to some not so very known positions. Let me tell you, it's not possible for me to cover every ending, and that's not my intention. I do not want to just put loads of information in your brain. I'm giving you positions, I'm showing you positions which I feel are very important, which I found important in my chess career, and I want to share them with you. Okay, so the first position in front of us is a basic king-pawn ending position, and I'm hoping most of you will probably be knowing this, but I would still do a revision for the ones who do not know it. Okay, this position you must, if you do not know it, just pause and think, what happens if white is to play? What happens if it is black to move? So if you know it, well and good, and you can just go forward, and if you do not know it, just pause, think. Okay, so let's see what happens with white to play. Okay, white's king goes towards the pawn and wants to go to d5 square. But black sees that king d5 is a threat and stops it by playing king c6. Now this is called opposition. This position of the kings is called opposition. The kings are separated by 1/5 rank, right? And neither of the kings can move forward. White king wanted to go to d5, but black's king is blocking it, and this is called opposition, opposing the king. So, and they're facing each other. That is important. They're facing each other and they cannot move forward. Either of the kings cannot come forward. So after king c6, white suppose tries king d4, and now he wants king e5 and d4. But again, opposition. King d6. Black will not allow white what he wants. Again, suppose white plays king e4, wants to see whether black gives him some way, but black is smart. King e6, no entry. Okay, what can white do? And now suppose he starts pushing the pawns because the king cannot go forward to the 5th rank. So d4, king d6, d5, because the king had nowhere to go, so white tries pushing the pawns. And now what black does is the king stays in front of the pawn, not allowing the white king to move forward. So the moment white king comes, the black king gives opposition. So the king stays in front of the pawn, king on d7. The moment white plays king e5, the black king gives opposition, king e7. d6, king goes in front of the pawn, white king comes here. Again, the black king goes just a move back. He's waiting. If king c6, king c8. If king e6, king e8, again opposition. So king e6, king e8, d7, king d8, king d6, and stalemate. So this is something very basic, and you must know opposition. Okay, so initial position, if it were black to play, what would happen? Okay, I just entered a null move so that I can make black's move here. And suppose black goes king c6. Now it's white who gets the position. So white plays king c4, king d6, and now white has the position, which means if black's king moves and gives way to the white's king, which he has to, white's king will enter on the 5th rank, and that is what white's king wants. So this position is winning for white, and I'll just show you some moves to demonstrate that. Suppose the king moves, king e6, king c5. Now the white king gets what he wanted, an entry into the 5th rank. Okay, king d7, king d5, king e7. This is just very easily won now. And the pawn moves. Now the king is on the 6th rank, white's king is on the 6th rank, and the way for the pawn is clear. d5, d4, king e7, pawn just pushes, king d8, king d6, and king enters here. And winning. So okay, this was not much. I just wanted to show the basics that if black does not have the opposition and white gets the position, white is winning because he gets entry into the 5th rank. And if white does not get the opposition, like if it is white to move in the first position, then it's just a draw. So this is just basics.